We're back again, guys, and we've made a few changes on the pod. So this is now the full podcast gang. A lot of the other guys, we had 10 of us originally. There's been some changes, and it's now just us 5. So it's now just me, Matty, David, Greg, and Kyle. We're still outnumbered, boys. We've still got 2 gooners, so I don't know. Probably won't help in today's podcast because we're breaking down a game that they probably don't either of them want to be here for. So yeah, well
surprised you turned up, mate.
yeah. Hats off to you.
All right, Banter. Come on, Banter Barry's back. Go on, son.
Excuse me if I sound a bit rough. I haven't got COVID. Just a bit under the weather, guys. So yeah, one of them things, eh? But yeah, so let's get straight into sort of the breakdown of the weekend's games just gone. We'll do it in order, but obviously we've got less teams to talk about now. We've only got Leeds, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United. So we can go in a bit more depth with each team, lads, which is nice. So the first game is actually Leeds 2, Sheffield United 1, which is my boys. Some of the listeners and viewers might know that I was on the stoop straight after the game with Lolo and Mark talking about the Leeds Sheffield United game. I was doing the post-match breakdown with them. So yeah, there's a video on YouTube of that where it's got a lot of my views of like fresh straight after the game. But yeah, we'll cover it again, boys. First things first, did any of you guys watch the game? And if so, what are your thoughts on it before I sort of get rambling?
I have to admit, I haven't seen the Leeds game at all. So no, and if anyone else has, crack on.
I saw the highlights of it. Looked like another sort of typical Sheffield United loss from their point of view. Like, not played too badly, didn't get smashed, but just weren't good enough again. And Leeds just done what they needed to do, really.
To be fair, the highlights might have flattered them a bit because the score flattered them as well. Ramsdale was unbelievable for them in the net. He saved so many.
I'm not buying it.
What's that?
No.
Honestly,
I'm not buying it.
He made untold saves. He was immense. If it wasn't for him, that's a 5 or 6-1 game.
He done all right in the under-21s. I think he's just carried it over a little bit, to be fair.
Yeah, I must admit he played very, very well. A couple of their players actually done all right. The left back Osborne as well. He actually scored their goal. He had quite a good game as well. But we're just far superior to them in every department. Like, that was them pretty much playing at full pelt, Sheffield United, especially with the personnel they had a few missing. And they didn't do terribly, but we were just so much better than them. We were so wasteful in front of goal, though, final third. And the times where we did hit the target and there would have been goals, Ramsdale made a few great saves. It's just one of them. But I've got to wax lyrical again about my boy Raphinha, man. Fucking hell, was he good.
Player.
I'm still in shock that we've nicked him for fucking 17 mil. It's the more I see him play, the more it baffles me that we've got him for that. I don't like other teams must have known who he was and looking at him, or our scouting system is just off the fucking chart. Because if other teams ain't seeing him and willing to take a punt on the money that he was available for, there's something wrong. Because he's got so much more ability than the majority of wingers I've seen in the league.
Pepe?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought Pepe would get a mention there. Yeah.
The thing is, Pepe's got talent.
Oh, yes.
He ain't as good as Raphinha. Raphinha's the same age, come from the same league as him, and for like fucking what, 15% of his worth.
Yeah, I mean it's a great signing, to be fair. I mean,
it is like
you think of what his value must be worth now. I mean, Christ.
Well, I was saying about 3 months ago, I was saying that we've doubled our money at least on him.
Oh, without a shadow.
And I think it's
more.
We've probably trebled
more for me.
Yeah. Again, the more I see him, it's ridiculous. I don't know how many goals and assists he's got now, but he's contributing something every game. Like, I don't know if you see the goal the weekend. Stuart Dallas was immense. He closed down and dispossessed the Sheffield United player on the halfway line, played a lovely 1-2 with Raphinha, and then set him down the wing. And Raphinha had fucking 3 defenders closing him down, and he didn't even really do a bit of skill. All he done was sort of glance one way and drop a shoulder ever so slightly, and he took 2 defenders out of the game. And then he was at the byline and just played it across the front of the face of the goal, and Harrison had a tap in. It says it all when you're Jack Harrison and you've just scored a goal, and the first thing you do before Salah is just stood and applauded Raphinha, and he just ran towards it. It was like his goal.
Yeah.
He's just different gravy, mate. He's so fucking good.
That's a special skill within itself, because not many players have the ability to totally take out 2 players with just a drop of the shoulder or a bit of movement. Only certain players can do that, especially at the top level. So yeah, fair play to him. That's quality.
The thing is, there's doing that, but there's also having the bottle to even try it.
Of course.
They have the ability to do it, but they're just too scared of losing the ball. They haven't even got the bottle to try and do it. But then when you've got someone like that who just, it reminds me a little bit of like Morris when Leicester won the league that year. Just like off the cuff, like no one knew how to handle him for that year. They was like, what do we do against this guy? Predictable.
Very similar player.
Drawing it. The name when you got him, the name was familiar because his name was bandied around with, when you look at the transfer rumours and all that, his name was popping up with Arsenal. Like pretty much Barcelona were trying to offload him. And it was
Raphinha.
Raphinha, yeah.
Different one,
and
mate.
It was a couple of
different one. That's thumbs up, brother.
About the fullback, or are you talking about the winger?
That's Raphinha Alcantara, Thiago's brother.
Yeah, he plays for
Barca.
Dead.
Different game.
I'm reading that.
No edits. No edits.
Yeah, that ain't getting edited, mate. That's a bollock drop.
Well, actually,
no homework.
I'm actually instantly happy.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, you weren't linked, mate. Don't try and jump on the Rafa bandwagon.
No, he's gone under the radar, mate. Yes.
Go on, Greg. You had to say something.
Yeah, no, he's just one of them sort of players, isn't he? Like he's a bit. If a manager gives you the freedom to go and do that, and then also your players have got the trust in you, where they're not going to moan at you because he's going to try stuff that don't come off.
Well, I don't know if you saw Sheffield United's goal. It was his fault.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Osborne. Yeah, I did see
it. He tried doing a little flick on the halfway line. He was on the counter attack, and he could have stopped the ball and laid it off simple, made a run or spread it, and he tried a little backheel flick, and it got intercepted, and they was on the break, and they scored from that.
But then
that will happen.
Goes up the other end, and he creates a goal, and he wins. Like you know what I mean. And then it's the same.
The pros outweigh the cons with him.
100%. If you get that backing from the manager and the rest of the team, then your confidence is going to be sky high all the time because no one's going to be moaning at you. They know that you're that sort of player. You're the maverick.
Yeah.
Grealish. Who moans at Grealish at Aston Villa? Nobody.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing with
they
him,
know what he can. They know what he can do.
What I've got to give him a lot of credit for, which is something that, like you said, maverick players don't really do, is he puts a fucking shift in, man. Like defensively, he must be an absolute dream for Luke Ayling playing in front of him because he's got everything going forward, but he will track back until he can't anymore. Like he's always there, like covering Ayling.
Freezing out.
Yeah,
just froze there, mate.
He's always there,
Yeah.
covering Luke Ayling like every single time. So he must be a dream to play behind as well for a fullback.
Yeah, because Ayling could easily say, right, go on, 1-on-1. Don't bother coming back. But well, the way that you play, you have to have doubles, like double ups, like to help out. But I mean, yeah, I can imagine he is because he's always there, as you say, he's backing it up no matter what, and then he's just there to go forward as well.
Definitely, mate. Go on, Jonesy.
Yeah, no, for me, Raphinha, like he's having a worldie of a season, to be fair. But do you think that he's benefited a bit from that? No one really knows who he is. He's very unpredictable at the best of times, but you know, defenders don't really know how to cope with it. I think next season for me will be a big season for him.
Yeah, you'll see what he's made of.
Yeah,
He'll have
I know what
to.
you're saying, yeah.
Am I freezing or what?
Yeah, you were.
Your
Yeah,
face is an absolute picture right now, by the way.
yeah, you froze, Kyle. Unless you're playing.
He's good. He's good at playing dead.
Hello.
You're back,
You're
mate.
Back, mate, you're back.
Yeah, yeah. No, as I'm saying, I'm halfway through, and everyone's just staring at me. Yeah, sorry, Nick, my internet is absolutely woeful. Yeah, no, I don't know how far I got before it actually went, but
You said
I was
like
just
next
saying,
season,
like,
will sort of
next
show-
season's going to be a big season for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think like next season will be the making. Where everyone always says that I don't want to see it over one season. It could be like see it over a number of seasons. But next season, defenders are going to know what he's about, know what he's. Do you know what I mean? He might get caught out, but for me, yeah, again, a phenomenal side. Has he played for Brazil as well or no?
no, but he's very much.
He's got to be on the
verge.
cusp. Yeah, he's on the
It's got to
virtual
be
band.
because he's better than fucking Richarlison.
How old is he, Tel?
24.
Good, like he's coming into sort of mid-20s.
Yeah, it's a great age, mate.
He's a cert for me for the Brazil. I know Brazil, they've got some good players, don't get me wrong, but when you're looking on current form and our players have been playing this season, for me, it'd be easily on up there.
How Richarlison gets in the squad. Yeah, how he gets in the squad, mate.
And the way he plays is very much that, like, what we grew up knowing of a Brazilian player, a Brazilian winger. That's Raphinha.
Yeah.
Like, they will
who
love
is their
it as
winger?
well.
Who is their winger? You got Neymar pretty on one side. There's Neymar players as a striker there. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Douglas Costa.
I think it's Lucas Moura.
More,
Yeah,
don't even know who plays.
yeah, but again, none of them are miles ahead of him, if at all, really. So,
yeah, he's got to be there or thereabouts. I think he's not far off. So yeah, it's one of the, talking of international call-ups. Again, I was having this discussion with a few people at work today. People are raving about like Mason Mount and Phil Foden. Jack Harrison has got better numbers than the pair of them. Why is he not even in the conversation? Is it because he's not fashionable enough?
I don't know. It's a good point. I think England are very blessed in the position that Harrison plays in personally. Like with Sancho, Saka, Rashford could play out there. They've got a lot of options, I think, England in that position. Maybe, I don't know. But obviously, if he keeps on playing the way that he's playing...
He's now on 8 goals, 5 assists.
Yeah, it's good numbers.
Or 8 goals, 6 assists or something.
Yeah, it's good numbers. Maybe a call-up's not too far away for him. But
yeah,
for me, I mean, going off tangent a little bit, if you're talking about England, I just think there's too much chopping and changing with England. 1 minute it's this 11, then it's that 11. There doesn't seem to be much consistency, but I think that's a whole other topic.
It is, yeah. It come to my attention because he actually mentioned it this week before the game.
All right.
He said that himself, Bamford, and Ayling that's what they're pushing for. They're pushing for an England call-up, and he said if they keep performing at the level they're performing, it can't be far away. And he set himself a goal of 10 goals this season, and he's trying to get as many assists. And it's not far off. I think he's only a couple of goals and like 4 assists off now. So it could easily happen.
Is he at Leeds permanently or is it a loan?
It's loan, but it's permanent at the end of the season. It's we've had him on loan now a couple of seasons. It was loan to permanent for last season, but because we got promoted, we basically done a deal with Man City because it was going to be permanent for 8 million at the end of last season. And we've done a deal with them to put it off for 1 more season. So we loan him again, but we'll pay him 10 million at the end of this season.
That's fair. Works for both parties.
It meant that we could put that money elsewhere into people like Raphinha and Llorente and Koch. We could sort of outlay that money elsewhere, and we can get him in on another loan deal sort of thing. But 10 million, fucking hell, what a steal.
I mean, in today's prices, that's mental, really.
Yeah.
Considering what he's contributing to your team. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, so it's exciting really to think that we're getting these sort of players for such little value as well, really, which is nice. Oh, Greg's dropped out.
See you later, Greg.
Perfect. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, right,
Excellent.
Greg,
Good
just
work,
go,
man.
mate, yeah.
When he comes back on, go, right, thanks for that, guys. We move on to Man United now.
For the audio listeners, we've just lost Greg, probably technical problems, but he'll be back in a sec. But yeah, because Harrison done superbly for the second goal. Like, he didn't score it or whatever. It was an own goal, but he forced it with a superb cross. And the other thing is, people have been raving about Kevin De Bruyne's pass this week, rightly so, brilliant. No one's mentioning the Tyler Roberts one. He sprayed a fucking 50-yard crossfield ball, pinpoint to Jack Harrison's left peg. Like, why is it people only talk about it if it's a big name?
It's always been that way in the media.
It's always been
Baffled,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, I understand talk
I
about
echo-
it, but
I
you've got to
echo
mention
what
the
you-
others as well.
I echo what you're saying. More credit needs to be paid to other teams that are doing these things, because it isn't just the De Bruyne's and, you know, whoever else is like top names you could pull out, like Rashford's or whatever, that are doing these things. So yeah, credit where credit's due. It should be highlighted more.
Because that's the
Tyler
thing.
De Roberts.
What's that?
Tyler De Roberts. There we
Yeah.
go.
He'd be getting mentioned then, wouldn't he? If he had.
The thing is, Carl, like we done it a few weeks back on here. We're the first to jump on people like Roberts when he's not putting it in. And
But
I must admit, since we've done that, he's been different class. He's now keeping Rodrigo out of the team.
Maybe he listens to the podcast, mate.
Yeah, Tyro, if you are, mate, fucking fair play to you, because you've been on flames the last few weeks.
Will you come on?
Yeah, can you come on for chat? But no, fair play. And the other one is, just before we move on to the next game, is I want to give Thiago Llorente a lot of credit as well. Like, we signed a guy from Sociedad, and he's like a Spain international. He plays a fair amount for Spain, but for the money we got him, it was I think he was like 17 or 18 mil as well, and I think he's 29, and he came in and he was injured, and then he got in the team, and his first game back got injured, then back in the team, first game back got injured, and we were sort of looking at it going, fuck me, have we been done here? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's pushing 30 now, and we can't get the cunt fit. And it was one of them, a few Leeds fans were starting to panic a little bit about it. But my God, he's got himself fit. The guy looks a fucking world beater. I can see how he's starting for Spain. Like, he's not just a cracking defender. He's a great football player. Just strides out of defence, and he's playing through balls like he's fucking De Bruyne. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, where the fuck has we got this kid from? He's talented, mate. And we've gone from having pretty much no centre-backs. We've been playing Luke Ayling at centre-half. So now we've got Strauch, Llorente, Koch and Cooper. And Koch and Strauch were our two main centre-halves at the start of the season. They can't get a fucking game. Like,
well, credit to the players that have obviously come in now, and they obviously Leeds are doing well for it, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely, mate. But
sorry, lads.
That's right, Greg. That brings us to the end of that anyway.
Here we go.
So yeah, until next time, guys. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, Greg.
What? You don't want to talk about Arsenal, no?
Missed it.
So yeah, we'll move on to the second fixture, which combines two of the teams involved here, boys. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 3. Another win for Liverpool on the podcast, Greg.
We're back, baby.
Who wants to start, lads? Dave, go on, mate. You're the one who looked the most.
Let's just get it over with. Yeah, it was just from our point of view, just huge disappointment. Like, obviously, we lost to Liverpool at the beginning of the year by a similar scoreline, and it was, you could hold your hand up and go, you know, they're the champions, top draw side, no shame in that. But then now it's not just because Liverpool have had a dip recently. It's just the lack of belief or anything that Arsenal had in that game. There was errors for the goals as well. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold's cross was brilliant, world-class cross. But I still can't. Holding, for me, needs to do better. It's not the first time he's been caught underneath a cross. He seems to make a habit of it. In Man City game, he was out of position and Sterling beat him to a header. Now you've got Jota, who's a similar stature, beating him to a header. And it is a great cross. But when you look at the replay, Holding has got so much time. I mean, Arnold's on the right. You know that ball's coming in. There's no disguise at all. You know that ball is going to come in. He looks at Jota. He knows he's his only threat near him. And when the ball comes in, he actually steps forward. And then, because the ball's so good, he then tries to step back, and he's lost it. Like, why? I don't get. Well, when you've looked at your man or you're marking, why are you not just staying to him like glue? Why are you stepping forward to mark space?
Right, Sean Paul.
Leno would catch it. So for me, that was an error, a subtle one, but still something that could have been dealt with. The second goal, when Salah obviously done well against Gabriel had the opportunity to slide in and clear that. He actually got there and could have just booted that out to the stands with a strong slide tackle, but he actually misses the ball when he goes for it. Salah keeps hold of the ball. Leno just opens his legs and there you go, pop it through there, mate. Thank you very much. And then the last goal was another mistake from Gabriel again. A sloppy pass out wide and they punished us. So Liverpool did play a lot better, but again, we gift-wrapped a lot of the goals. They still did obviously well to finish them. And a mix of Liverpool playing, I think the international break come at a good time for them. Some of the players who didn't go looked like they had a good rest. They obviously regrouped. We just looked flat as a pancake. I was hoping we was going to, obviously even with Liverpool in a dip, it's still a tough game, but I was hoping that we was starting to build after a good win against Tottenham, and obviously a draw did us no good against West Ham, but being 3-0 down and coming back was still something you can build a lot of confidence from. So I was hoping we would at least come through it with a draw, or if we lost, kind of a tight game, but it was just absolutely completely outclassed, and a lot of the players just didn't look like they could even be bothered to put a shift in. So yeah, just fuming, to be honest. Yeah.
Fair play, mate. Mr. Boyle, over to you, mate. If you want to.
I've been dreading this all day, and I'm not even joking either. Just
leave conversation.
Yeah, again, I might sound familiar, but I do agree with everything that Dave's saying. It's just, how many times are you going to make these mistakes? I mean, Liverpool, I think I said this to you boys off camera, that I believe that having Fabinho in midfield made a massive difference to the way he's just so cool, calm and collected on the ball. Nothing phases him. He's good in the air. He's good with his feet, and he just makes it tick over that bit more faster and more relentless for Liverpool in the middle. But I do want to give, before I go on to hammer my own team, I do want to give Alexander-Arnold a shout, because I'm not an England fan. Most people know that, but how is he not even in the squad? Even if you're not starting him, I mean, surely he's got to be on a bench.
I know what you're saying, but to be fair, apart from the last couple of games, he's been dreadful this season.
Well, you may say that, but I think a player of his ability, I just don't see how you couldn't pick him going to the Euros. He might have had a bit of a blip, but does that mean he shouldn't be in the squad altogether? I don't know. It's an interesting debate. But anyway, in the game we're talking about, I mean, he could have had a hat-trick of assists, to be honest. If it weren't for some bad misses and some last-ditch sort of kamikaze defending, he would have got 3 assists probably. So, but again, like Dave said, the goals are just gift-wrapped. I mean, come on here before, and I've said about Arsenal's centre-back pairing. For me, it's even more all over the shop than what I thought it was about a month back. There's just no consistency. Anyone can walk into that team and claim a spot. And furthermore, if you're on the bench as a centre-half for Arsenal, you must be thinking, I must be dire to not be getting a chance here. Because how Saliba is on loan, not in the frame at all, and they were in the relegation zone, Nice, apparently, when he went there, and now they're 10th. I mean, it's not obviously not all because of him, but he must have steadied the ship somewhat at the back. All the highlights I've seen of him, he's quality on the ball, he's good in the air. Unless he's got a stinking attitude, I don't know how we've got to this point where he's been We paid 25 million quid for him and he's been loaned. That makes no sense to me at all.
Probably wanking off his teammates in the changing room.
I was going to say,
Yeah, there is that. But then again,
that's the only video I've seen of him recording his mate with his dong out.
at the end of the day, you don't get picked on wanking off your teammate. You get picked off how good you are at football, in my opinion. So if he wants to toss someone off behind the scenes or in front of everyone, that's up to him. Like,
I look at that as a bonus anyway, especially if you play with him.
Yeah, especially after you've just done 90 minutes, you must do something. But yeah, just going back to, I mean, Liverpool were worthy winners. We all know that, and Liverpool seem to be kind of finding some sort of form again. But it's just there's so much to criticise. I don't even know if there'll be enough time on this pod. I don't want to bore everyone to tears with it. To be fair,
Aubameyang's Barnet, or
well, we'll get to that in a minute. But even from simple, he's gone with a very attacking lineup. So he's picked Lacazette, he's picked Aubameyang, he's picked Odegaard, and no one wanted the ball. Now, you can say what you want about Xhaka, and it is a massive debate about Xhaka. Xhaka's obviously better than what we've got in the middle, and that's been proven, apart from maybe Thomas Partey. But again, I still don't think he's really lived up to anywhere near the price tag that we paid for him. He looks quite an ordinary footballer to me. He shows glimpses of what he can do, but again, it's not consistent enough. But the little things like going towards the back four, demanding the ball, knowing what you're going to do when you've turned, and then you've got your options. It was just clueless. Ceballos is absolutely terrible. I mean, he must have lost the ball 5 times from what I saw, and I lost interest at 2-0. I think I turned it off, to be fair. But, I mean, I can't wait for him to fuck off back to Real Madrid, to be fair.
Well, one of your comments, Matty, in the WhatsApp group during the game destroyed me. He was like, he's playing like he's being chased by a dog.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone else has noticed it, but it's a bit like that Sterling with the flappy arms. Like, he goes to get the ball and there's no one within 10 yards and everything's like all hurried and I've got to do it 100 miles an hour. Bruv, there's no one near you. Like, what are you doing? Just chill out. They're not even pressing, at this particular point, they're not even pressing you to do nonsense or hurry it up. They actually think you're that shit, they're letting you have the ball.
Yeah, but the thing is with Ceballos is...
he's rubbish, Greg.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, in Spain, these players have a good season or half a season, they get snapped up by Real Madrid or Barcelona, one of them.
Yeah.
He is not that good. He's somehow found himself at Real Madrid, and then he's now able, because he's at Real Madrid, big teams will sniff around him, and he's got to move. And he's got a 2-year. Did he have this is his second year, isn't it?
Second loan, yeah.
He didn't look too bad. The first year, he didn't look too bad. But this year,
but it's because
what happened to him.
You don't know what he's about in that first year. So, but you know what he's about now. And he's poor. He is pissed.
He plays like his football boots are like 5 sizes too big for him. His first touch just seems to bounce off of his foot.
Sideshow Bob.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. I mean, there's him. That's just one of the ones you can criticise. I've got a whole load more. But yeah. I mean, again, going back to the philosophy, again, we touched on this off camera. We must play out from the back, no matter who the opposition are. It doesn't work, pal, because when you play against Liverpool, it was the same when we played Liverpool at Anfield. Liverpool all over you like a cheap suit. They know if they stick Salah and Mane right as far as they can without impeding, that they're going to nick the ball off Rob Holding, off Gabriel, off Callum Chambers at right back. It just doesn't add up. There's no
Torres at left back is awful as well, isn't it, mate?
Oh, it's just, honestly. Anyway, again, I'm going to go on to Aubameyang because I think it's just outrageous that he's captain of the club. When he got taken off, I mean, I want your thoughts. Do you think he gave a fuck? Because from what I saw, it was like, oh, well, lost today again.
Quickest I see him run was with the captain's armband back on the pitch.
Yeah, to give it to fucking someone else. I mean, if that's a captain of a football club, I'm just completely and utterly baffled as to what the word captain means. I mean, it's just terrible. And I was listening to what they were talking about on Monday Night Football last night, Carragher and Nev. What they were saying is like, Arsenal really don't want this Mesut Ozil situation again, where you've just given him 350 bags a week and he's in chill mode. I mean, there's just no urgency about the fella. And I just think if I was Arteta, when Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe are fit, he's generally got to think about dropping him.
Yeah, and I think I prefer Lacazette playing up front because I know he's not
go along with that.
Natural ability of finishing like Aubameyang has when he gets a chance. But with he does so much more. Lacazette, he puts himself.
Yeah, he does. He seems to put in a shift. He's prepared to like sort of, although he screams rather louder than everyone else. He is prepared to try and get stuck in and like show that he's working for the team. Whereas
he holds it up. Like, Aubameyang just gets bullied as well. He gets bullied off the ball too.
Yeah, there's something seriously not right there between last season and this season. Maybe it is the deal. I don't know what you guys think about that, but for me,
he fucking decided to turn up against Leeds, though, didn't he?
Oh well, standard, yeah.
It's like it's in the T's. It's like it's in the T's and C's at Arsenal. Listen, we're going to give you a massive pay rise,
chill out.
But it gets better. It gets better than this. What's that? Don't even give a fuck no more. Don't bother after this. Listen, we're going to double your wages, Billy Big Bucks. Take it easy now, all right?
It happens a lot, doesn't it? There.
Moving forward from what we have left to salvage. I mean, we've got a quarter final of the Europa League, and well, I don't even know if I should go far to say this potential semi-final. I don't want to jinx it, but if you look on paper, Luiz, as much as he is criticised, I think he's been probably our best centre back this year. He's on the treatment table. Tierney's going to be out for. They're saying, I don't know, maybe a couple of months. I mean, they're our two best defenders and we can't defend as it is. So, I mean, going into them Europa League games is worrying. We'd have to be at our best to even try and win that competition, I think. But even like the Arteta's 50 game thing has come up now and he's got a worse win ratio or percentage than Emre. And everyone was full blown on having Emre out when he seemed to lack more of an idea. Arteta has a vision, but the vision is not panning out due to the personnel that we have at the football club. So therefore, you have to come up with a plan B. And for me, there isn't one. And I think Arsenal are just spinning round in this cog. And the table don't lie, fellas. Arsenal are mid-table because they're a mid-table side.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, I can't really say any more than that. It's just massively disappointing because I thought over that period when we had the West Ham game, the Burnley game, I generally thought the Burnley and West Ham games were winnable, even though we were 3-0 down against West Ham. Liverpool won. I still knew they would give us a tough game. We generally struggle against Liverpool anyway, but it's just disappointing that we didn't pick up a couple of wins before we played Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I don't think we can hope for much more than 9th or 10th, 8th, maybe at the top.
That's
now.
poor. That's so poor for a club like you, though,
yeah,
man.
of course.
It's
horrendous.
Something's going to have to change. Something.
It's a sorry state when you're missing two youngsters that are driving the team.
Yeah, because if you believe what you read now, they're saying that we might have to sell Saka to rebuild the team. I mean, and that is if arguably the biggest talent that we've got. I mean, that is concerning, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're not.
We'll take him at least.
You're not going to get.
We need backup for Harrison and Raphinha, so.
You're not going to get massive money for Saka. I know he's a talent, but what money are you going to get for him? Who's going to pay?
I agree with what you're saying. But unless, like I said on a previous podcast, it's going to take something massive to turn Arsenal around. I'm talking takeover stuff.
Yeah,
and I think it might even get worse before it gets better. Because at the end of the season, you've got players there that are on loan. You've got Odegaard, you've got Ceballos. You've got players that, I don't know, maybe coming towards the end of their deals or you're looking to get rid. And I don't see where and Kroenke is never going to put his hand in his pocket now because he never really has. So I just don't see where the investment's coming from. It's worrying. It's worrying.
Without investment, the process at Liverpool took 5 years with Klopp, yeah? What other team gives, what other like chairman or whatever gives teams that long?
Yeah.
None. But also, without what Matt is saying, without that investment, who your likes of Chelsea have put in how much? They're not coming anywhere near. United have spent a shitload over the last however many years since Ferguson. They haven't come anywhere near. Even with all this investment, you're not getting close to someone like City. It's only because Klopp's been like, we're lucky that he's even been given that time, and he's been able to build a squad that really and truly, you look at it on paper, yes, our team is good, but should we have got anywhere near them? No, but we've had a process.
Yeah.
And he's been able to have that process, which has allowed success. But without investment for certain teams, are you ever going to get near again?
No, I mean, we're not even. I'm looking at the teams that are in and around of us, or that have shown a bit of progression like that. I mean, Everton. I don't know. Everton fly under the radar with the amount of money that they've spent on players. They spent
they've
fortunes, and I can't say they're in a much better position than us. What we're talking?
Well, no, if they lose their game in hand,
8 points or whatever it is. So I mean, they've got a massive question mark hanging over them. I mean, Aston Villa deserve a lot of credit. Near like relegation candidates, and then they've really seemed to turn it around there. And at one point, they were absolutely flying earlier on in the season, sort of gone a bit by the wayside, but still enough to be, top 7 possibly. But as I said, the clubs, no disrespect to them that I'm comparing us to, we should be streets ahead of them, really and truly.
That's the thing, mate. You've got to look at the teams either side of you in the league at the moment. Yeah. Oh, Villa and Leeds, 2 seasons ago, was in the Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we do need massive investment, but you're right with what you're saying. It's not all investment though, is it? Because you look at Leicester have done in recent years.
Yeah,
at the moment.
Yeah,
but what they've done down to investment, you know what I mean?
No, it's not all investment, but it's process as well.
Yeah,
but then how long do you let Arteta's had 50 games now?
Yeah. And we're worse than we were when he took over. That's a fact. That's not even there's no dispute with that whatsoever.
There's letting the process go, but how long do you let it go? Because he's trying to be City with as you're saying, like a mid-table team. It's never going to happen.
From my point of view, looking at you lot, obviously we're spoiled with Bielsa and what he's done with our team and the identity that he's put into the team. If you're 50 games in and you still ain't seen improvements, not the man. For the job. Sorry.
No, I genuinely think come the end of the season, the board have a massive decision to make about whether they let him stay or go. I mean, personally, I quite like him. I don't dislike him, but I just don't think it's happening there. I don't think what he's inflicting on them, I don't know if they're taking his instructions on board or they're just not capable of playing the way he wants them to play, because too many of that back four just looks so nervous. You can practice that in training as many out of the 31 games or whatever have been played now. I mean, we've made mistakes in 75%, 80% of them, a lot of them coming from the back, passing the ball out. So, or losing the ball in silly areas. But I just think, like, back to the Leicester thing, obviously Leicester have invested shrewdly. The scouting network that they have, they don't really spend big money on bad players. They just seem to make players better and better and better.
And every player they never seem to sign a dud. They all seem to picked out some they seem to be brilliant players.
Yeah,
they're like a model club, really. For me, in the whole Premier League, there's no one that I'm sort of like, apart from Timmy support, but Leicester for me are literally the perfect club. Such a nice, honest club that just do things the right way. And like Greg was saying about the process. Yeah, they can do the process. They've done the process, and look, they're getting the rewards from it now.
They brought in a manager that's taken them even more to a different level.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
with the football that he wants to play. I mean, you saw obviously the difference between Celtic now and Celtic when Rodgers was in charge. Celtic walked it. All right, Gerrard has steadied the ship, and
but if Rodgers was still there,
Rodgers would it. Yeah, I mean, he's done well. Fair play to him, but I just think I don't know how we're moving forward. There doesn't seem to be. Where's the goal? What's the aim?
Yeah.
And for the minute, for me, we're treading water, and it looks like, as I said, it's going to have to get worse before it gets better. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just, as a club though, it's like so. Are your board picking the right people?
No.
Well, they're not, are they? That's why
no. But this is it. So you got to start looking at them and thinking about their process. What are they doing?
In the last couple of years, the club can't be making money. You know, this year we're probably not going to finish the Europa League spot unless we obviously win it. And going into the Champions League with that squad would just be an absolute tragedy, to be honest. That could be embarrassing unless something massively changes. But I don't think we're going to win the Europa League. There's some other good sides in there. Man United. But yeah, I just think we're going backwards.
Yeah,
that's basically it, to be honest.
Let's move on to you, Greg. Anyway, with the Liverpool side of things.
Yeah,
because we're sort of going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
with that one. So yeah, what do you reckon?
I mean, it's hard. Like, it's obviously you've heard the boys absolutely slate Arsenal, but at 0-0, I didn't. We were on top, like possession wise. Yes, it was a bit wave after wave, but we wasn't like making loads of opportunities and whatnot. We wasn't breaking them down at first, and then come the second half, like what the boys said though as well, like it was too easy for us. Having Fabinho back in there, it does make us tick a lot better. And Kabach and Nat Phillips they've been solid since he's gone back into there, and that he's screening them, which has allowed Robertson and Trent to become a little bit better in this little period, which has actually helped us pick our form up, like, you know. And until we got the first goal, I didn't think it was overly bad from Arsenal. We wasn't great, and then all of a sudden, yeah, that goal goes in, and it just changed the game massively, didn't it? Like, literally, all of a sudden, it was 1-2, and then, you know, that. I mean, Gabriel for Mo Salah's goal again. Dave, you touched on it. It wasn't. I mean, it's poor
even
defending.
in Sunday League, Greg, if you did that, your teammates will be battering you for that. If you were a centre half and you just literally put that lazy ball, shipping it over the forward into no man's land and killing Cedric, and then throws his arms up in the air like it's Cedric's fault. He was mucked past, which was what happened.
Yeah,
I mean, crazy.
And then the thing is as well, like he goes on then to make another mistake. So I mean,
wow.
It was just that thing of, as soon as we got one, you literally as the team just went, like,
absolutely.
gone, and you did, I mean, we played okay. I think we played okay. Like, we dominated the ball. We were doing nice little triangles.
It was very comfortable for you.
Without, obviously, we didn't, in this little period we've had our issues in that, but we have turned. It seems like we have turned the corner, and I really did think that you were going to give us a bit more of a fight.
So did I.
But again, without playing amazing, the scoreline was very convincing. But it does a job for us at the minute. Like, every game is just more and more confidence, and then, you know, the finishes were good. They were good in the end. Like, obviously, Salah, I think, was looking for a penalty. He could have gone there. He was looking for a penalty, definitely.
Yeah.
he was looking for it.
When is he not looking for a penalty?
But then he took the little nutmeg, which was nice. So, and then Jota's goal, it was just quality. And yeah, it's a bit of a two fingers up, isn't it, really? Like, he has had a good game, and then he goes and sticks that on his nut. Good finish again. But yeah, what can you say? We were better, but I don't think that you helped yourselves, and it made it a lot easier for us.
There's obviously stiffer tests to come for Liverpool than Arsenal, for sure. But it's nice to go to a place like the Emirates, get the points, and then move on, for sure.
Mate,
especially given some of your current form or what.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have turned the corner, and at 0-0, it looked like it was going to be a bit of a. It sort of had it written all over it. I thought it was going to be a bit of a 0-0, like, because we were not finishing off chances, basically, and then, yeah, all of a sudden, 1-2, and then it's game over. Like, and then the scoreline's flattering, and it's a good result for us, especially going into midweek.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's not much, you know.
Sorry, go on.
Go on. No, I'm not going to wax lyrical about it.
I couldn't see Arsenal scoring, to be fair, and I think that goes back to what you said, Greg, about that first goal. When it's 0-0, when you know you're not playing well, you're not looking like scoring, all while it's 0-0, you've got that fight still. But as soon as that first goal went in, it was like Arsenal knew, fuck, we've held on for this long, but that's it, it's done now. They just knew, and that's probably why the wheels fell off so quick, because they just thought it's demoralising, isn't it? When you're in the game, you think, right, we're in it, but as soon as that first goal goes in against the team, you know, pretty better than you're playing better. It's like, game over.
I mean, he's come on and he has obviously changed the game, Jota.
Absolutely.
And I mean, he has been a shining light for us, because he's very similar to Mane and Salah, as in the small, intricate player. He totally changes the dynamic, because Firmino, who is, as we've spoken about, like, yes, he's really good at holding it up and bringing others into play, but when we play at speed, it's so much better. That's how it's like, you know, he slows it down, and then it sort of stunts us, and then all of a sudden you bring Jota on, and he comes up with
people, doesn't he, Jota?
Yeah, but
he's very direct, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very direct.
He's direct, and even when, so the guy, so he started out on the left. He had the ball. He played it inside. He wanted the 1-2 off whoever it was. I think it might have been Thiago. He wanted the 1-2, but he didn't get it. He then played it out to Mane, who then held on. I think it was Mane, or they held on to the ball, and then Trent was able to then get the cross in. But Jota's already on the, like, he's on the move still from that play, and he's just always moving, and he's found space, as you said, like holding. How a centre back can let, whether he's 5'6" or whatever, should be getting space. Should not be getting space, and he's actually been proven to be a good header of the ball. Even for Portugal, he's popping up with headers and whatnot. Yeah, Portugal's best player. Do you know what I mean?
Going back to like Rob Holding though, how many times can you misjudge a flight of a ball? He's got a good amount of time. The same with the City one, to see that. I mean, for me, that's terrible defending, because he's nowhere near it. It's not as if he's jumping with Jota and trying to win the header.
Yeah.
If he did, he would have won the header. He's totally missing the flight of the ball.
But also, though,
umpteenth times now. I mean, it's just crazy, man. Crazy.
I think I've sort of said to you before as well. Like, Leno can see the game. He's watching this game. If he's taken a step, a yard in the wrong direction, holding, Leno can open his mouth and say, get closer to, or the right back, whoever the right back was at the time, Chambers. You've got to know your positions.
Of course. Yeah.
How far you are away. If that's not Chambers' man, that's Holding's man.
Because you can't rely on Trent messing the cross up, because, like Dave said, he's probably I'd even go as far to say bar Bex. He's got one of the best crossers of the ball I've seen.
But he's pinpoint, isn't he? This is it. All right, he hasn't had the best season, but he can put that ball on a sixpence, and as a matter of fact, Jota didn't have to do much. He didn't have to jump very much. Do you know what I mean? It was literally on a plate.
Yeah, absolutely. But
and then he changed the game, obviously, Jota, and it was looking a bit of a possession-based 0-0 up until that point. It really was. But then obviously it opened up, and Gabriel was at a stinker. And
Jota's another one where it's just like it's just another good bit of business from you guys. Like that deal, 40
5 million, wasn't it, Greg, or 50 million?
Yeah.
Everyone, you knew he's a good player, but you kind of thought, whoa, they're paying that for him, really? And then he's proved well worth the money.
He
scored.
Everyone knew he would be a decent player for Liverpool, but I don't think you knew he was going to be this good.
Well, no, not at all.
A bit of business.
Yeah, again, it seems
which we don't seem to be capable of at this moment in time. Just overpaying for shit.
I mean, even at Wolves, his numbers weren't like this. Do you know what I mean? Like,
how many goals has he scored for Liverpool?
I think it's 12 now, something like that. I think it's 12.
And he hasn't been fit for.
And he hasn't played for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, let's get it right. In the Premier League these days, for someone to start in your front three, you got to be spending decent dough. There's no way you're nicking a 5 to 8 mil deal and the geezer turns into an absolute worldie. It just doesn't really. I don't think it really happens. Not in that position. I mean,
well, the top four sides pay 50 million for left and right backs.
That's what I'm saying. So if you look at Leeds with Raphinha, I mean, like Terry said, how they've nicked that is amazing, really, when you consider the prices or what some of these clubs are shelling out. Like even Dave said, for a right back and a left back.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and Harrison for 10 million for an English player.
That's crazy. That's crazy money for his return. I mean,
for an English player as well.
If you paid 10 million for Harrison and he scored 5 goals,
you'd be happy.
With that, and he's still got 8 or 9 games to go. So,
mate, Ollie McBurney cost 18 million. Rhian Brewster 25 million.
Yeah, we've had our chief exec's fucking having it off with that one.
Do you know what I mean? Though, like
25 mil.
People like we virtually got Harrison and Raphinha for what they got Brewster for.
Yeah.
I think the thing with clubs like clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United, it's seen that you're held in a certain esteem if you're in that squad.
Yeah.
So that's why Brewster's being sold for silly money.
Yeah.
I mean, he played in the Prem once or twice. I don't even think he scored in the Prem, did he?
Well, there's an option that we can actually buy back.
Never going to happen.
How about no?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah,
you never know if he turns a corner because he's got promise, but again, he wasn't.
Liverpool and Sheffield.
There's obviously a reason. There's obviously a reason.
Well, let's sort of bring that one to an end anyway, boys, and we'll move on to
well done, Greg.
To Kyle. So another 3 points, Jonesy, Gory, and then over to you, Kyle. Man United 2, Brighton 1. Made hard work of it, but what was your thoughts, mate?
I'll just quickly before we go on to United, Lolo, if you're listening, get Greg back on. We can't have him too chirpy on these podcasts. It was a bit of a curse having him on before, but fucking hell. Get him on ASAP. No, but yeah, back to United game. I mean, listen, Paul's going to say I sound like a scratch record. Yeah, like you said, wasn't very convincing for me. Another unconvincing performance.
Mute this bit.
But we got the job done. But listen, we beat them, but it's fucking Brighton. So listen, I don't get too excited. We made hard work of it.
You made hard work of it the last game when you played them, when you scored a penalty after the game finished.
Yeah, waited till full time and then still got a penalty.
At least we got it done a bit earlier this time. Yeah, I haven't really got a lot to say about it, really. I mean, again, it was just one of them games that...
It's good we can leave it there, then.
We honestly, we can cut this well short. We ain't going to be a long one.
Should have gave a penalty away, or
I can't really think of anyone who actually stood out as a performance, to be fair, looking back at it. Yeah, comme si, comme ça, just okay.
On the job and
but that's just done a job. Like again, against the Brighton team, he done exactly what I'd expect him to do. Luke Shaw was good again. I'll be honest, I'm going to go on the goalkeeper situation. Just quickly, I want to touch on that.
Oh,
I do.
audio.
I do. Listen, I love Dean Henderson. I think he's a very good goalkeeper.
For a non.
But I do. I want De Gea back. I really do. I think De Gea's miles ahead of him in terms of ability and what he can do. The points he's going to save your team over the course of a season. I think De Gea. Yeah, for me, he has to be number one moving forward. I'm never too confident with Hendo in goal, but I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. I think De Gea could be going. To be fair, I think that's why he's stuck with it. I think he's had a baby now, and so I think he misses in Spain. I think he pretty wants to, and I wouldn't even, I don't know. I'd be sad, but. Yeah, we have got Hendo there.
See the genuine upset on his
You'd
face.
get decent money for De Gea though, especially if he goes back out to Spain.
Oh no, like I said, the problem with me at the moment is just I don't have full on confidence in Hendo. I just feel like you're good, but you're just not quite there yet. But listen, hopefully he proves me wrong. But I mean, just a bog basic performance. Again, wasn't great, good in bits. But got the job done, and you know what? I was really worried that we weren't going to get the job done. Last season we always failed to capitalise when teams around us didn't pick up points. We'd never pick up points as well. We'd always fall short. So it was good just to get that. I'd like to think that top four secure now for us. I mean, we've got a nice little gap there now. So I've just job done basically. That's all I can say on the whole game. Job done.
You think Maguire should have given away a penalty there? Kyle.
Listen, I think it's one of them. I don't think I'd have complained if it wasn't given, or if it was given, but I don't think you can complain that it wasn't, because
I can agree. Those ones I thought sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. But it just annoyed me that they didn't even tell the ref to look.
No, but the still picture, I think Greg sent it to me. Yeah. The still picture looks like Maguire. Still pictures always look worse. You've got to look at it as it is. You can't pause it on a bit where, listen, players can rustle. Greg does it to me on FIFA all the time when we're playing. He presses these little buttons and he drags me back and all that.
He hates him.
He never gets a foul given for him. So for me, that was a bit of jostling.
Well done, Greg.
It was just. I don't think it. Yeah, I don't think it was a pen. I don't think you want to see pens given for that every time. I just think it was a rustle.
That takes it back. I actually forgot even to mention, during the Leeds game, did any of you see Bulldogs tackle on Tyler Roberts?
No, I did see the thing. Yeah.
Fucking hell!
Not even a word.
Not even a free kick.
Oh, when he nearly knocked himself out.
That's because he got concussion.
He tackled him so fucking hard, he nearly knocked himself out. Tyler Roberts come out of it like he'd been in a fucking car crash. He'd done 3 somersaults, landed on his head.
Triple pike, fucking.
2-footed, fucking shin high, 100 mile an hour. He's like, bang. And it's like, oh, but my head hurts. Oh, it's all right. Don't worry about that. Get that tackled in. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it was naughty. That was naughty. That's what VAR should be intervening on. They should be going, hold on a minute, Fred. Like, that's a clear and obvious mistake.
Was Welbeck not going to tap the ball in? And he's got a tug.
I can't believe he's.
I don't think Welbeck was getting it anyway. To be fair, I think the ball was a bit too far ahead of him. Anyway. I think it was too far ahead of him.
Joe is horrific, and he always scores against you lot. It's great.
Yeah.
His goal record's put. Honestly,
all 3 United graduates scored that night.
Excellent.
On Sunday night. all come through our academy. No, but Welbeck's. Yeah, he's well done, mate. But yeah, didn't quite matter in the end, did it?
Is that you done on that then, Kyle?
Yeah, really. Yeah, very forward through the game.
I want to talk about you anyway, so that's fine with me.
Well, you fucking even on my piece, you drag it back to you, scummy shits.
You reminded me. I totally forgot to mention it. I was like, fucking hell.
I should have abandoned it. Said, no, you've had your chance.
Rain on your parade, mate.
No, there's no parade here.
Well, yeah, that sort of brings us to an end of them fixtures anyway, boys. Just quickly, I want to score from you all on the games that are coming up this weekend. So just not too in depth on each one. We just run through a score on each game that involves our team. So the first one is Man City versus Leeds.
So it's at the Etihad, yeah?
It's at the Etihad. I'm going to start it off.
7.
I'm going to go City 3, Leeds 2. I think we'll give them a good run for their money, but I think they'll have too much. Boyle?
3-1 City.
Greg?
I haven't been too good at predictions lately.
I'll go with 7.
No, I'll go with.
Say it, Greg.
3-0.
Fuck off. Jonesy?
4-1 City. I think they'll get a goal, but yeah.
At least we got a goal. DS?
3-0.
Have a word, lads. Right then. Now
just off the back of a 2-1 victory over Sheffield United. How are you not fake?
You wish you had that over Sheffield United.
Yeah, I do.
Liverpool versus Villa. Dave?
7.
Well, they scored that against you last time, didn't they, Greg?
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. 7.
2-0 Liverpool. 2-0.
Jonesy?
7-2 Villa. Fuck it, I'm going for it. I don't give a shit. Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
7-2 Villa. If that comes off, mate, fucking hell. Greg?
Mate, I hope we can turn our fortunes at Anfield around. 3-1.
Boyle?
This is quite a tough one. I don't think it's as clear cut as Liverpool are just going to win this, and that's going to. I'm expecting to be goals in this game. I think Liverpool might narrowly shade it, so I'm going to go 3-2 Liverpool. But I think Villa will definitely give them a run for their money for sure.
Well, I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Villa 0. Villa are shit, and we're going to finish above them. So come on, you Spurs. Spurs versus Man United. We'll start with you, Jonesy.
1-1.
Oh, confident then. Dave?
Yeah, I've got the same 1-1, I reckon.
Oh, hello. Gory?
2-1 United.
Ooh. I'm going 1-0 Spurs. Boyle?
Absolute Desmond and pork pie. 2-2 for me.
Yeah, it's a good shout, the old Desmond.
It is actually, yeah. And then last one, Sheffield United versus Arsenal. We'll stay with you, Boyle.
I mean, if we lose this, I mean, I might just not ever come on here ever again, to be honest. I'm dreading it. I'm actually scared of the game. I'm scared.
Oh, please don't.
Brewster hat-trick.
Yeah, McBurney will score 6. Make up for the fucking rest of the shit he's been doing.
Oh.
What are you going with, Boyle?
It's just ugly of the highest order of ugly. 2-1 Arsenal, and I mean, they're going to be scraping to win this. Scraping, because the confidence is on the floor, man.
Some penalties.
Dave?
I'm praying for a 2-1 as well. I'll be over the moon with it as well.
Yeah, honestly, I will take a 1-0 anything in this game to still win it. That's how bad we were against Liverpool.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, don't surprise me.
Greg?
I just can't look past Sheffield United just being that shit. 2-0.
What's a Sheffield United? They're at home.
No, 2-0 Arsenal.
Oh, wow.
And Jonesy?
3-1 Arsenal. I think that'd be all right.
Right, that's the predictions in.
Honestly, if we don't win that game, I'm muting messages.
Now the table looks different, boys. Now we've down to 5 of us. So
How's that going, by the way?
So bottom of the league, Dave, you're still bottom, mate. It didn't change.
Poor Dave, man.
I think I was climbing as well before.
Yeah, you were doing all right.
I was climbing and they dropped out.
You're on 31 points. I'm on a massive 32 points, just above you. Boyle's in third on 34 points. Kyle's second in 35 points.
Oh, okay. I'm not that far.
And fucking Greg's on 41 at the top.
Wow.
Steven ahead.
Look at that.
Decent.
Well done, Greg. Keep going, son.
So now, to bring us to a close, boys, Baller of the Week, Donkey of the Week. So we'll start with Baller of the Week. I'm going to start us off. Mateus Pereira, West Brom.
I'm going to say the same. I was going to say the same thing.
I was going to go with Callum Robinson because of his record against Chelsea. But Pereira turned it on, mate. And when that boy's on fire, he's some player. Yeah, so I've gone with Pereira. He was phenomenal against Chelsea. He deserved it for me. Boyle.
Yeah, same. 2 goals, 2 assists. I mean, to go there and win when you're in the fucking relegation zone against a team that are, top 4 or pushing part, even maybe beyond, is very impressive. And they've got an amazing record. They've got a decent record against Chelsea, to be fair. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely, he wins it for me too.
The Great Escape's still on, Big Sam?
That's it.
I bet he had a pint of wine straight on the go after that game.
Oh.
Good lad. Greg, Baller of the Week.
I went Callum Robinson, to be honest, mate. Because
only scored against Chelsea.
No, but Pereira did very well, and obviously I was going to go for Jota, but can't. But Callum Robinson, just that goal where he kind of started the move, it got played up to his chest, and then he just planted it out wide, and then they just swarmed it, and then he just came onto it late, mate. And the way that he finished that, I just chose him. And then obviously only 5 goals this season, all against Chelsea. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I overlooked Pereira just because of that goal, but I know Pereira had a very good game.
Fair play. I think 5 this season. It's 5 in total.
Is it?
He's got 5 Premier League goals, and they're all against Chelsea. He scored 1 for Sheffield United against them last season,
Right. Yeah.
or the season before even. But yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, my 2 I think was I was thinking of Jota, but I'm not going to go with him because he plays for them. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go for this guy because he gets slated. He has been from day dot. Joe Linton can score goals.
Joe Linton.
He's still missed sitters as well, though.
No, but look, listen,
What is it?
He
4
scored.
goals? 4
He
goals?
won it.
The fact that he's
reckoned
even
4
won the
goals in
award
6
for Kyle was
games.
amazing.
Joe Linton just for a goal.
Yeah, just because he
scoring.
actually scored a goal.
Should we give it to him?
He should get player of the season.
And even further to note, lads, that Joe Willock and Joe Linton scored in the same game. I mean, that is easy. Brucey must be over the fucking Alfie with that.
When you know
Ask him.
Is he there, Matty?
Oh, well, you know. Nah.
He can't do it when he's getting filmed, see?
It's killed me. It's just killed me. The fact that they've just scored in the same game, I don't even need to speak. I was so happy the fact that it was against Spurs as well. But
yeah,
I mean, that is fantastic. That will never happen again this season, at least.
What, Joe Linton scoring?
Well, or him and Willock scoring in the same game. No.
Yeah, no matter. Well done, Jolie.
And Dave, funny, it should pass it to you. Your nomination for Donkey last episode we done was Joe Linton.
It still doesn't get him out of Donkey in my view.
That's right, Dave. That's right.
His record, they said he scored he's 4 goals in 60-something games. What? He scored 4 goals in 2 seasons.
It's horrendous, isn't it?
He is not Brazilian. He can't be Brazilian. I'm telling you.
He's a moody Brazilian, isn't he? Sure.
Even Joe had a better fucking record than him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Dave, who's your baller of the week, mate?
Yeah, I was gonna Pereira, but then just the way Robinson come on and the way he took his 2 goals, found him.
Whoa.
That's quite impressive. So yeah, Robinson.
It's like the X Factor. This we have to go. We have to phone people now.
Well, exactly. So that leaves us at a tie. So there's Pereira with 2.
Yeah, but Kyle cast them.
You get the deciding vote because you picked Joe Linton. Is it
And
Mateus Pereira or is it Callum Robinson?
Pereira got 2 goals and then set up 2 as well.
Yes, you got 2 goals and 2 assists.
Well done, Pereira. 3 cheers for Pereira. It's got to be in it. 2 goals, 2 assists. Fucking hell.
Winning.
By the way, I reckon a lot of sides will be looking at him for next season.
Would you have him? I was going to say for you
100%.
boys.
I wanted him anyway. Before the start of this season because he impressed the fuck out of me. He was unbelievable in the Championship.
It'd be a great 10 for you, to be fair.
Yeah, he would. The thing with him is he hasn't really got the work rate, which is tough. But if Bielsa could drum that into him, then he could be something else. But yeah, I'd have him. I think he's a talent, mate. Yeah, so baller of the week, Mateus Pereira. Well done, son. And now, last but not least, boys, Donkey of the week. So, Dave, as you got the last vote on the baller, you get first for Donkey.
Gabriel was very close for getting it for me, just because of what I said earlier. But I'm going to give it to Thiago Silva for Chelsea because his sending off just literally. I know West Brom played well in that game, but it was just instrumental in them losing. I think even though Gabriel was the one who made mistakes, that we was always looked like it was going to be something. We was always going to lose that game, but him being rash on that second booking cost them the game, and he's experienced. So yeah,
Fair play, mate. Jonesy.
Oh, I've struggled. Right. Just because you made a little thing of it, I'm going to go Danny Welbeck for trying to cheat for a penalty against a team that he should be supporting. To fucking.
How have you done that, man?
Oh my god!
Bias Barry or what? Fucking hell, we're going to go Barry Jones. Fucking hell.
I used to work with Barry Jones.
Fair play.
I need a silly bang guy.
that was Barry Scott.
Barry Scott.
Barry Scott.
Bang in the
Bang. Greg, who's yours, mate?
Do you know what? I was going to go with Thiago Silva, but I've got to go with Gabriel, mate. He's absolutely killed Arsenal there.
3 different picks so far,
He's
boys.
absolutely armitage shanks at the moment, isn't he? Fucking
Richard.
Gabriel, he is poop.
Matty, your pick, mate.
Yeah, I'm not going to change from what I originally had. Basically, echo what Dave's saying. Thiago Silva, experience, international. He didn't need to make the tackle that he made, and that, like, ultimately that led to their downfall. It's absolutely killed them. So yeah, not really much more to add. Thiago Silva for me.
Thiago Silva. Well, I was also going to go with Thiago Silva, but then when I reminded myself about Sam Baldock's tackle on Tyler Roberts, the cunt's got to go in as my donkey. Fucking, you can headbutt the floor all you want, mate. It ain't getting you out of that. That's filth. You should be ashamed of yourself throwing yourself at Tyler like
I haven't seen it yet, so I need to have a look.
Horrendous.
It was
Didn't even get free kick.
two-footed.
Nice.
It's a disgrace.
Worst
He
kicks on
banged up for
Tekken.
it, let alone sent off.
And he had to go off because of it.
Yeah, that was shame. The reason he went off, nothing to do with his fucking head.
Shame.
There's nothing inside his head to get concussed. So yeah, I've gone with him. But a little shout out for Heckingbottom for being a little prick and all. But yeah, so Baldock's mine. But the winner, Thiago Silva. Well done, donkey. It's an all Brazilian affair then. We've got Matheus Pereira as baller and Thiago Silva as donkey. So yeah, that brings the episode to a close anyway, lads. We will hopefully be back with another episode towards the back end of the week, but we're not too sure yet. We'll see what happens. We've got a possible guest coming on. But if not, it'll be the following week. We'll be back with our usual. And yeah, catch us over on our YouTube channel as usual, guys. Like and subscribe subscribe to the channel and like all the videos that you watch. And yeah, rate and review on any of the podcast platforms that you listen to us on. And yeah, we've also got a collaboration soon coming up with On the Stoop with Lolo. So yeah, we won't sort of announce too much on that yet, but watch this space on that one. We've got some work coming up with them guys. So yeah, until then, anyway, boys, thanks for coming on, boys, tonight. Let's get over to watching the Champions League games, watching Liverpool currently losing to Real Madrid 1-0 and City beating Dortmund 1-0. So yeah, you can be excused to go and watch them now, boys. Not that Greg will want to after that, but I don't know. Boys, until next time.
We play Arsenal every week.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Loves it.
See you later, boys.
See you later, lads.